We all know this by now, the Minecraft Caves and Cliffs update was split up into two separate parts, being 1.17 and 1.18, but the split and the delay was never really fully explained and fleshed out, leaving us with quite a few questions about this whole thing. However, in this video everyone, we actually have some brand new information from a developer known as Henrik, which explains the unknown reason the Caves and Cliffs update was split. In this video, we are going to be talking all about it, so if you're going to enjoy it, be sure to drop it a like and let me know what you think about all of this down below in the comments. But without wasting any more time, let's get right into the video. Now, as I said, you all know the story at this point. The Caves and Cliffs update was originally announced to be 1.17, a whole update that would update the mountains of the game along with the caves, bringing all new mobs, biomes and gameplay mechanics, and it all seemed to be going well until we reached the summer, where then Mojang announced that the update was being split up into two separate parts, leaving us waiting all the way until the end of 2021 to be able to get our hands on the majority of the features. At the time, they did release a video talking about this, and it was met with an overwhelming reception of positivity from the Minecraft community, but basically the Mojang team split the update and delayed it to avoid crunch, which was quite confusing for a few people that had been really getting into depth with this update and playing every single snapshot, because to a lot of us it did seem that the update was doing very well and it was all on track to be a very successful update. Where then the update was split and delayed out of nowhere, it just filled a lot of us with a bunch of questions. But now they have actually finally been answered by a Minecraft developer known as Henrik, who recently went on a very interesting interview podcast known as the Spawn Chunks podcast. Now, this podcast obviously got Henrik on, and the hosts were asking him a bunch of questions about his time being a developer at Mojang through 2020 and what it's been like working on the Caves and Cliffs update. I watched the entire thing all the way through and I recommend you do so too, so if you want to listen to it for yourself, a really cool interview. I'll put a link to the full thing down below in the description. But basically, while watching this, I took away one very interesting thing from this, and it was when Henrik was actually explaining the actual reason for the Caves and Cliffs update being split and delayed, and I'm pretty sure none of you may have expected this or predicted this. One of the most underrated but exciting features about the Caves and Cliffs update was the increased height limit, which would move it all the way from 256 blocks to 384, which is a huge increase. Now, to the average player this may not be the biggest change, but to a lot of us, maybe builders, explorers, this was an absolutely incredible change and probably one of the biggest ever since the beginning of Minecraft. And it turns out that this was a split second decision that actually led to the Caves and Cliffs update having to be split. Henrik did actually explain on the podcast. Obviously, I'm not going to talk about all of it in case you want to watch it or listen to it for yourself, I should say, but basically he talked about how the team was really split as to whether they should actually increase the height limit and go all out. They knew that if they were to go through with this, it would require a lot of effort from the team and it would be a very big and overwhelming task. It would be very difficult and it would create a long road ahead of the team. Obviously, as we know now, they chose to increase the height limit, allowing for deeper and taller Minecraft worlds, allowing for bigger mountains and obviously more caverns, which was a really amazing decision by the team. If they wanted to do it, they were going to do it right and they were not going to skip out on a feature that they thought not everyone would really care about. As a result of this though, they did not expect fully how difficult this would be and how much of a struggle strain this would put on the team. It required all of the efforts from all different parts of the Mojang team, bringing everyone together, taking up a large chunk of the team's time. If they had someone free, they would be working on the increased height and depth limit of the Minecraft world. Hearing this, it just makes me so happy that the Mojang team decided to do this, and it just shows, like, maybe to some of us on the surface it may seem like a very simple change, like adjust the slider and make the height limit increase, but it is really not that easy. It did require so much brain power in order to complete this simple change. Obviously, because of the time this was chewing up, the team knew that something had to be done about this, which is why, as a result, they took the very quick decision and the very hard and difficult and very scary decision to delay the Caves and Cliffs update part 2. Originally they were discussing maybe delaying the entire update, but they decided they wanted to give us some very enjoyable content to experience over the summer while they continue to work on the remaining bulk of the features. I think we can all agree that this is a very good change by Mojang, and no one is hating on them at all. If they did want to choose the quicker option and to be able to get this update out on time, they could have just simply not added an increased height limit. However, because they knew the community's high expectations and they wanted to please us all and make us all happy, give us the best update possible, they actually added this, which is insane, because just think of how many features in so many games may have actually been cut or split just because a team wanted to meet a deadline. It's so good to see and so pleasing that Mojang is not actually like this, and they are kind of taking their unique route where they just want to happily please the community. We all know where the story goes from there. Mojang released their video talking about the Caves and Cliffs update being split, with the part 2 being delayed until the holidays, and archaeology being kind of lost into the void, if you get what I'm trying to say. But after hearing this story, it just is so cool to hear and so happy, and it just gives me a whole new outlook on the Mojang team and what it must be like to be a game developer, having to make these very difficult split-second decisions that could completely change everything. As Henrik has said, changing one little digit in the code can completely mess everything up, and I guess it's kind of like that with being a game developer, having to make these difficult decisions which you really do not know how it will have an effect on the outcome of everything. So I do not know if anyone from Mojang will ever see this, but I'm pretty sure if you're all here into this part of the video and you're hearing this, you agree with me, and I just want to say a big thank you to the Mojang team for being so amazing, making such an amazing game and putting so much time and effort into the update. So I completely understand now why the Caves and Cliffs update part 2 was delayed, to avoid crunch after the team put so much effort into making this the best update possible. So if you're hearing this, go down below into the comments and put thank you Mojang, and I'll be sure to drop a heart on all of those comments I see. Thank you all so much for watching, everyone. Go and play some Minecraft. Have an amazing day, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.